Venus is often called Earth's sister planet, and on paper it makes sense. They're almost the same size, have similar mass and density, and are both rocky terrestrial planets. But the similarities stop there because Venus is without a doubt the most hostile environment in the entire solar system. Its atmosphere is so thick and toxic that if you stood on the surface, you'd be crushed instantly by the pressure, 92 times greater than Earth's, the equivalent of being 3,000 feet underwater. And then there's the heat. Venus has an average surface temperature of about 867 degrees Fahrenheit for 160 degrees Celsius, hotter than Mercury, even though it's farther from the Sun. Why? Because Venus is a runaway greenhouse effect in action. Its thick atmosphere is made up of over 96% carbon dioxide, which traps heat so efficiently that it literally cooks the planet non-stop, day and night. There's no real temperature drop between the sunlit and dark sides. The heat is that trapped. The clouds on Venus aren't just harmless vapor either. They're made of sulfuric acid, forming a thick yellowish haze that reflects sunlight and hides the surface from view. These clouds create a permanent smog layer that completely blocks the sun, meaning if you were standing on Venus, it would feel like the inside of a dim, hot oven. And the winds in Venus' upper atmosphere. They scream around the planet at over 200 miles per hour, 320 kilometers per hour, circling the entire globe in just a few days. This is called superrotation, and scientists still don't fully understand how it works. Despite this violent upper atmosphere, the air lower down is incredibly still, meaning you'd be crushed and burned alive while barely feeling a breeze. And the rain. Technically, it does rain sulfuric acid, but it evaporates before it even hits the ground due to the extreme heat, creating something scientists call virga or ghost rain. Venus is Earth's twin only in size. In every other way, it's a cautionary tale of what happens when a planet loses control of its climate. One of the strangest things about Venus is how it spins backwards. Unlike most other planets in the solar system, Venus rotates from east to west. That means if you were somehow standing on the surface in a titanium heat suit, the sun would appear to rise in the west and set in the east. And it rotates slowly, really slowly. One full rotation takes 143 Earth days, making a day on Venus longer than its 225-day year. But wait, it gets weirder because of the way it orbits and spins. A single day from sunrise to sunrise on Venus actually lasts 117 Earth days. And there's a theory that Venus didn't always spin this way. It may have had its rotation reversed by massive impacts or the tidal pull of the sun over billions of years. Whatever caused it, the result is a bizarre rhythm where the planet seems almost frozen in time, slowly turning under a thick and violent atmosphere. Venus also has a surface that's young and freshly remade, geologically speaking. Radar mapping from NASA's Magellan spacecraft in the 1990s revealed a world covered in vast volcanic plains, huge lava flows, mountain ranges, and cratered highlands. But here's the kicker. Venus has very few impact craters, which means the entire surface is likely no more than 500 million years old. That suggests a planet-wide resurfacing event wiped out the older terrain, possibly due to catastrophic volcanic activity. Some scientists think Venus experiences global resurfacing, where internal heat builds up and then violently remakes the surface in one massive, planet-wide event. And Venus might not be geologically dead. Recent evidence shows signs of active volcanoes with heat anomalies, strange changes in sulfur gas levels, and even new lava flows seen from orbit. If Venus still has active geology, it would make it the only other rocky planet besides Earth with current volcanic eruptions. Underneath all that toxic air and pressure is a living, boiling landscape, possibly still reshaping itself in real time. Despite being such a hellish place today, Venus may have once been a lot more like Earth. Some studies suggest that billions of years ago, Venus may have had liquid water on its surface, even oceans, and a much thinner atmosphere. But something changed. Maybe its proximity to the sun caused too much water to evaporate, and the rising vapor amplified the greenhouse effect. Over time, more heat meant more CO trapped in the air, which led to a feedback loop of rising temperatures and evaporating oceans until Venus turned into a furnace. This runaway greenhouse effect is what makes Venus such a powerful warning for Earth. It shows how a planet with Earth-like conditions can transform into a deadly pressure cooker, possibly from natural changes or climate imbalances. If we can understand how Venus became the way it is, we might better understand how to protect our own planet from climate disasters. Venus is also a spacecraft graveyard. The Soviet Union's Venera program was the first and only mission to land on Venus and send back photos. Venera 13 in 1982 survived just 127 minutes before the crushing pressure and heat destroyed it. Since then, missions like Magellan, Akatsuki, and ESA's Venus Express have orbited Venus, but none have returned to the surface. Future missions are finally aiming to change that. NASA's Da Vinci and Veritas missions and Europe's Envision are all planned for the 2030s, and they'll study Venus' atmosphere, geology, and possible active volcanoes. Some wild concepts even include robotic airships or drones that could float through the upper clouds where temperatures and pressures are similar to Earth's, oddly enough. That's why some scientists have even proposed cloud-based habitats for future explorers. Venus, for all its hostility, holds some of the biggest unanswered questions in planetary science. How did it become this way? Could it have supported life long ago? Could microbial life even survive in the upper atmosphere today? It's not just a dead world, it's a place that might still be hiding ancient secrets waiting for us to unlock them.